Well, David, opening day games are normally tight affairs, but that was far from it today.
Yeah, look, I thought we were thoroughly deserving of the victory. I thought it was probably as comprehensive as the scoreline suggests. And yeah, I thought there were lots of things to be pleased about. So, all in all, you never know. That's the truth. You come into the first games, they don't define a season. You know, a 3-0 win or a 3-0 loss doesn't define a season. It just doesn't. And our win today won't define a season. But you'd much rather win them, and you'd much rather get off to a start like this. So it shows the progress we've made since, Fleetwood away last year, against a team that had just come down last year. Crawley just come down, and I thought we were, like I say, well worthy of the 3 points.
Plenty of things to be positive about, but what pleased you most today?
Clean sheet. I thought we limited them to very, very few chances. I think the XG against was something like 0.29. I think they had something like 7 or 8 touches in our box, and we had 41 in theirs, which is a really telling stat of how dominant we were. So that was really pleasing. How sort of front-footed we were as well. We beat their press. We knew that they'd come and get us, and they did, and they tried, but they couldn't. So yeah, it was lots of things to be pleased about this afternoon.
3 competitive debuts, and Jays gets man of the match. And gets his goal, of course, and he was an absolute handful all afternoon.
Yeah, he's a pest. Absolute pest. That's why we brought him to the club. I think he's a goal scorer. He'll run all day, he'll chase crisp packets across the pitch. And he deserved his goal. I thought he led the line really well. I thought the front 3 with Chaz and Darra were excellent as well. I thought the lads then come on were really good. It's a pleasing afternoon. We've had 4 academy lads in the 18, and that's not because we didn't have enough players or anything like that. They're there on merit. 3 get on the pitch, So another real feather in the cap of Woodsy and Cal and everyone back at the training ground. So yeah, I thought we were dominant all over the pitch. I think every one of our players were better than every one of their players, and that's unusual. Certainly in first games, and like I said, we're not getting carried away. Win 3-0, lose 3-0, it doesn't define a season, but you'd much rather win them and get off to the start like that.
And another youth team graduate, Evan Curry, he took his goal very well, didn't he?
Yeah, what was big area of development for him. I think he got 2 last year, 3 goals, 3 assists. He's got to get at least 6 goals this year. That's his challenge, and he started off with a real good finish. That he's got that certainly that finish in his locker. He's got to add other elements to his game in and around the box. There was one he flashed across first half straight into the goalkeeper's hands, and he's got to do better. That's an assist for him. So there's lots of areas that Ev can get better, but he's having a right good go. And like I keep saying, our thing for us is to make progress. Whether that's individually, like what I've just explained with Ev, or as a collective unit, as a defence or a midfield or attack, or as a team in a squad, and we've all got to keep making progress. And Ev's got to score more goals and create more goals. And if he keeps going about it the way he's going about it, he will do, I'm sure.
It's not often town fans see a big opening day game win. 1979. This is the biggest win on the opening day, which is a heck of a stat, and it was a great atmosphere in Blundell Park today. Yeah,
look, I think the fans deserve a huge amount of credit. I said, lads, 10-3, when I spoke to them before the game, I said, look, you can feel it, you can smell it. When I've stood on a pitch before a game, as often as I've done, you can feel the smell, and sometimes it's flat, sometimes it's dead, home or away. Sometimes you can feel that they might get behind you if we have a good goal or if we score early or whatever it is, but today you felt right from the off, the little things like the tifo, and obviously we're grateful for the Mariners Trust for organising that, and you could just, obviously the sun's out, that makes everyone happier, I think, it certainly does me. So yeah, I thought the fans deserve a huge amount of credit as well. We're trying to bring the good times back to this football club, and like I said, we're not going to get carried away. But at the same time, I'd much rather have a start like that than the opposite. So, 1 down, 45 to go.
And we must mention as well Darra Burns. It felt like a new signing really today, because he's been at the club a while, but today it felt like he'd actually arrived properly.
Yeah, look, he scored against Lincoln the other day. You know, I said to him, I play exactly like you and Charlie Kirk at Crewe. Don't particularly like getting kicked, which is fair enough. Okay, fine. That's an unbelievable skill to have when you're in the box, because you'll stand where you don't get kicked. It means the ball will fall to you. It means that you'll end up just getting in positions where you can score. You know, he nearly scored just towards the end of the first half, and it sort of went past the post. It was actually excellent defending, but I thought he was excellent. I said a minute ago, I thought the front three were very good. I thought Chaz were good. I thought Jays were good. I thought Darra was excellent as well, and that's why we brought him to the football club. You know, back in the last season from January, he had to be a bit patient. Why? Because players were playing well, and he took a bit of time to get up to speed. A bit like said Jason this time last year. It doesn't happen overnight. That's why when I say to fans, you know, give the players time, give me time. Let's get the coaching and get the work into them, and eventually I've got absolute faith in the players, and I've got no doubt that they will get better. And Darra's already shown that over the last 6 months, and hopefully he'll show even more over the next 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 months.
And all this with players to come back from injury, and then you look at the bench today, and there's competition for places everywhere.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. We don't. You know, last year we had a horrific injury list all the way through. Some of that a little bit self-imposed, is in like recruiting really high quality loan players, but actually came injured, and we never really sort of got over that, about one or two. But also the squad in general, there were too many players that were injured last year, and we've got a couple now, but we know that one of them was obviously pre-planned, Jason, and then a couple just with sort of smallish niggles. And when they're back fit, we'll be even stronger. It's as simple as that. We're not going to survive on the 11 lads that started or the 18 lads in the squad. You know, we've had Sam Lavelle, we just brought him to the football club. He's missed out today. Reece Staunton, I spoke to him before the game. I said, "You've impressed me most of anyone in pre-season. He's developed quicker than anyone." But he ends up missing out because Jaden's been so good as well. So I've got no doubts that he'll end up on the football pitch soon enough and do extremely well when he gets an opportunity. So that's a pleasing thing. There weren't many times last year where we had to actually choose a bench. It got picked for us. So yeah, it's another pleasing thing as well.
Fantastic win. Well done, David. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.